What up, y'all? It's your man, Mr. Mar Sharp, Short Man Filmworks in the building, and this is Motivational Mondays. The lesson for today, or the message for today is, maybe you are in the place that you need to be. You say that one more time. Maybe you are in the place that you need to be. A lot of us sometimes we go through a lot of thoughts about where we feel like we need to be in our lives. Some of us might have a few regrets. Maybe some things that we felt like that we didn't do in our younger years, or maybe we feel like we're not doing what we need to do right now, and we don't necessarily feel like we are in the spot that we need to be. What I want to tell y'all is that maybe sometimes where you are at the present moment is exactly where you need to be. Sometimes you got to think about it. Maybe you're not prepared for where you feel like you should be. Maybe you haven't gone through all the lessons yet. Maybe you haven't experienced all the things that you need to experience to actually be at that point where you feel like you need to be. And it might take you a little bit more time to get there where you think or where you thought you was going to be at that place. So the whole gist of what I'm trying to say is, like, you got to be patient. You got to be a little bit more patient, and sometimes you have to change your perspective on how you look at what's going on in your life, because you might be exactly where you need to be. It might not be where you want to be, but you never know. You might be at a certain particular spot, and you might be there to help somebody else. You might be there to aid a certain situation, or you might be there for whatever reason you need to be there for. And it might not be in your timing, but you got to think it's in the universe's timing or God timing. As I said, whatever you believe in, it's got to be some kind of timing that you're in that you might not necessarily feel like you belong there at that moment. But you got to remember that, okay, well, maybe I need to be here for a reason. Maybe there's something I need to learn from this present situation. Maybe there's something that I have to get out of this to make sure that whatever I'm getting out of it, that I'm taking the lesson with me, so that I can take this lesson and either learn from it, pass it on to somebody else, maybe give that knowledge to somebody else, because they might be going through the same thing. So you never know what you're going through, that you might be where you need to be because that's where you need to be at the present moment. Change your perspective, change your way of looking at it. And sometimes it might work, because I've done this myself. Sometimes I felt like I'm not where I need to be, and a lot of times I gotta kind of reevaluate what's going on in my life. Now, I will say that sometimes we're not where we need to be because maybe we didn't make the right decision. Maybe we didn't do the work that we were supposed to do, and it's gonna take us a little bit longer to get where we have to go. But you still have to understand that you're here for a reason. You're in your present situation for a reason. And you have to find a way out of it. You have to find a way to get out of it, and you have to find a way to work it to the best of your ability. All right? So just remember that even though you might not feel like you belong in a certain situation, maybe you're there for a reason. So maybe you're at the place that you need to be. Might not feel like you are, but maybe you're there. You're there for a reason. You got to remember that. You're there for a reason, and figure out the reason. And even if you can't figure out the reason, make the best of your situation. Make the best of where you at in the present moment. All right? Well, with that being said, y'all take care. Y'all have a good day, and y'all have a prosperous week.